Welcome once again in the class of water resource engineering. So we are starting the new chapter, that is lift irrigation. So in this lecture we are going to see what is lift irrigation and what is its advantages, disadvantages, etc. Along with lift irrigation in this chapter we are going to see the wells and all those things, that is bore wells, tube wells, etc. So I am Mr. S. Savule, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department. Now, what is lift irrigation? Lift irrigation is a method of irrigation in which the water is not transported by natural flow, as in the gravity fed canal, that is by gravity, but it is lifted with the pumps and other means. So you can see this is the water source here, and here we are lifting this thing with the pumps, and again by using this hydrocyclone separator, that screen, and all those things we are using, we are supplying this water to this farm, that is by the drip irrigation method. So all these other things are about dealing with the drip irrigation. Main thing is here, that is why we are lifting the water by the pump. So this is the lift irrigation for the small particular farm. So it has been implemented on the larger scale also, that we are going to see in this lecture. Now what is the working of lift irrigation? So carry the water to the delivery chamber from the water source, that is by using this pump and all those things, by using mechanical means, and distributed this water to the required places. So we are storing the water at some place with the help of this pumps, etc. Same thing we are doing with our water tank at home, elevated water tank at home, and we are distributing that water again with the help of gravity, or sometimes with the help of even again by mechanical means. Now the process, the water is carried out by the help of the pumps. Here you can see this is the water source, we are carrying the water, and this is the water storage, that is already optional, that in some pumps, as we have seen already, the water pumps are started, and water is directly fed to the this particular uh, consumer, or the field or the crop. Then water is carried out from the water source at the lower portion of the land, and mainly in this thing construction of dams and channels has been done in this case also for the large schemes. As we can see, we have the Mahishal Yojana in the western Maharashtra region, etc. So for this we have constructed the dams and channels, small dams and channels also. So you can see the schematic diagram of the lift irrigation. So here it is the water source, this is the full reservoir level, this is the pump house. So the water is coming over here, this assembly, and here we are lifting the water, and by lifting this is the delivery chamber, and here we are storing the water, and by gravity we are distributing this thing. So this is the simple layout which we are using for the uh, that jack well is there, intake well is there, and by that this jack well leaves the water and store it somewhere, or even we can directly feed to the particular farm, etc. So these kind of systems has been implemented at the local levels, or in case of supplying water to the particular city, this kind of methods has been adopted. But so many lift irrigation schemes has been adopted by using this method also. Distribution is done by the gravitational method, as we have seen. We are storing the water over here, and again we are distributing with the by gravitational method. So at first contour map is prepared, and the places which is irrigated is blocked according to their need. So when we are feeding the water with the gravity or lift, or preparing some system, so we have to prepare a contour map for the levels, and the places which we need to irrigated is blocked according to their need. So what kind of use of water, or what is the need of particular crop, so accordingly we have to make divided them into the block. So required diameter pipelines and needed walls are placed for the distribution. So according to the need, we can place the decide the diameter of water as per requirement, and again for the control we can put the walls in that particular system. Now, what are the advantages of lift irrigation? So it is the made irrigation possible at the higher levels. So suppose if anything at the higher level, so we can lift water over there, and then we can irrigate that particular area. So it is possible by this system that we can irrigate at the higher levels. And always it happens that so many times we use this system because we have the riverside area, so much area in this particular Sangli Kolhapur region. So directly we used to lift the water from the river and feed it to the farms, etc. So that is kind of at a higher level, and it is possible due to this lift irrigation. Then land acquisition problem is less because of we don't have any some sort of we are using the pipes, etc. So that's why the land acquisition problem is less in this particular type of lift irrigation. When water losses are low, water is flowing through the pipes, that's why evaporation and that percolation losses are less in this case, and manpower is less used. We are operating with the pumps, etc. So obviously manpower is less used. Then what are the disadvantages of this lift irrigation? So it needs the complex pumping and power equipment. So obviously for the lifting of the water we need the pumping stations and the power equipments. So that is kind of design, and all those things are kind of complex things. So that needs the skill to put these pumps and all those things. Then second is the power supply and high operational cost. So for the running of pump we need the power supply, and that is also as per requirement. When we are going to start the pumps we need the power, and obviously it comes with a high operational cost and maintenance cost. Suppose sometimes it some problem arises, so it takes high maintenance cost in case of motors and the pipes, etc. Because we are sometimes pipes are buried in the land, so we need to open those pipes in case of leakage and all those things, and we need to check. So it takes quite a high maintenance cost also. Now here you can see I have taken this data from the this government website. So you can see this is the Krishna Koyana lift irrigation project, and this is known as the Maheshal Yojana. So here this the Takari lift scheme, Maheshal lift irrigation, and it irrigates around 34,397 hectares and 82,923 hectares. This is for the Takari and this is for the Mahesha Yojana. So which is in the drought prone area, which is in Sangli Solapur districts. So and the water source is Krishna River and Koyana Dam. So by using this lift irrigation, this much area gets benefited, and that area is came under this particular irrigation. Even uh, the uh, the sector is the water sanitation, subsector is the irrigation, that is dam, channels, embankments are there, and all these things are complemented. It is a government initiative, and the project capacity you can see 20 2 lakh 89,904 acres is the particular project capacity. So this is the information about this lift irrigation, and this irrigation system has made so much impact on the particular uh, this drought area of the eastern side of the Sangli district, and even at the Solapur district. So the date of award of this project is 31st March 1984, and the completion date is not available over here, but still some things are going on. Here you can see the project cost also, that is actual, and that is this revised and earlier cost, that is in crores. So all these things are available on this particular. And another disadvantage I would like to tell you, that is actually social kind of disadvantages. uh, Obviously it requires the power to run the pumps, but sometimes we have to purchase the power from the MACB or some power supplying company. So that is also another thing that we need to consider, that collecting money from the particular members who do or consumers, that is quite difficult, and that's why the problem is quite major in this case. uh, we have discussed in our first lecture, that is about Mahisha Yojana also. So these things are there, so that is comes under the little disadvantages in this big lift irrigation schemes. So this is all for today's lecture. The references are shown over here. Thank you.